We're gonna see. It's this one. It is this one. Okay. I'm hoping this is working, guys. Alright, here we go. I'm sorry if you saw the other stream. I have no idea what was going on with it, but for some reason I could just not get this to show up. But I finally got it working. I was playing Minecraft earlier, and I was recording it to upload. I'm not gonna upload it. I'm not a fan of like how I played it, but that is likely why I got messed up. But it's fixed. You've probably seen this piece before. I've been like uploading updates on it because it's taken so long. We're pretty much 10 hours in, and we've just started rendering. I've started doing the table. I've finished John and Summer up. I'm up on like actually doing the background. That's pretty much what's kind of taking me a while because this piece is very big. It's not super detailed, but you know, there's a lot to sit down and go through. So we're gonna get back into this. Don't remember if I was working. I don't think I was working on anything before. The last thing I did was the table. So we're just kind of gonna pick a random spot to jump back in there, and I'm really thinking we'll start working on these cabinets up here. I'm very tempted to just kind of give up on this piece, but I also feel like, you know, we're too into it. If it was like still the line art phase or like the rendering, like especially like making it gray, I would have said like, okay, yeah, we're out of it. But no, we are too deep. I do apologize. Let me know if the music is too loud. I know 100% like I can't hear anything. So I just kind of gotta base it off of what other people say. I'm continuing on like my little storytelling pieces. I don't remember what the last live stream I did was, but you know, I've been posting up a lot of like different parts of like Summer and John's first time meeting. I might have done the birthday one. I potentially did that. But there's the one where they're celebrating his birthday for the first time, and you have their first meeting. What other pieces are there? I don't know. I'm not remembering. Let's see. I'm gonna flip over and look. Just the birthday. Yeah. God, I've not posted in a hot minute. Their first meeting. I guess I've done their overall designs, but yeah, you know, I've not really done. I feel like I've done so much more art, but apparently I've not. Time flies when you're having fun at school, I guess. Usually I try to make sure I post more often, and I've been a little distracted the past 2 weeks. For one thing, like, I am actually trying to focus a little more on school, which I'm not doing a good job at. But, you know, me and Nate, I've talked about him in a few live streams. I spend a lot of my day now talking to him, and so I get a little bit distracted when I should, you know, be focusing on other stuff. Yesterday, well, I guess it was more Thursday, I started working on a new video. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was doing an old grayscale challenge. It was it was like a long time ago, but I did a grayscale challenge where I like created characters and then went in and like, you know, created a color palette without being able to see the colors and colored them in. I tried doing that again. It was pretty fun, but oh my god, it takes so long. And then I didn't get all the footage I wanted to like post it, so I don't think I'm gonna post that one either. But I do want to come back and do that again. I like making those types of videos. Here we are. I guess my like I'm still kind of going for that broke look where it's going to be very, you know, dramatic lighting and stuff. But that's usually like the last thing I add. I know for like the birthday one, I kind of made that more immediate. But I feel like for this one, we actually have to like create this background and then we can come in and darken it. So I'm just kind of coming in and like I'm adding shading and a little more color to these because they look very plain without it. Here we go. Let's see, what can I tell you guys about art school? I survived like my second ever critique. That was pretty good. It wasn't in my drawing class where like we do like the more serious critiques. It was in my 3D design, and what we were doing is we were making these wire shoes. And I say survived because I did not put a lot of effort in this assignment. I love the 3D design class, like no joke. I just like I may or may not have been allergic to the wire we were using. And so, like, every time I would go to, like, work on this, my hands would sting and burn and itch. And I didn't feel like telling the teacher because it was, like, a 3 class long assignment. And I was like, it really doesn't matter that much. Like, I feel like it's stupid to make her worry and, like, make her fix this assignment if only, like, one thing, like, this one issue's occurring. And then I admitted that during the thing, like, yo, I was like kind of allergic to the wire. Like the people gasped and stuff. I was like, okay, that makes me feel kind of bad now. Like maybe I should have spoke up or something. We're starting our final projects in there, and we're making like a Frankenstein style costume where it's like we make a paper mache mask and we're making cardboard hair. And I still have to figure out what I'm doing for the hair. I've not thought about that all weekend. I was like, I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a break, and nope, haven't even considered that part. For the mask, I'm kind of going for like a Billy Joel's The Stranger kind of look. Like if you've seen the album cover, it's literally just that mask, but it looks more like me and more like in tune to like my interest in like vintage mask and stuff, and I kind of want to make it look more like porcelain rather than plastic. I don't know. And that's just my thought process behind that. And then the hair, I've not considered what to do with the hair. My teacher said she thought it would be kind of fun to make it Billy Joel styled hair. But like there's only so much you can do with that idea. Like Billy Joel styled hair would be my type of hair. And I've never worked with cardboard, so I don't know how it works or how you're really supposed to play around with it. So I'm kind of going in blinder than I did the sewing project. Okay, I think we're about done with these covers. I kind of want to like just throw over an overlay color just to see what these kind of look like and how they affect the piece. I'm really feeling like we need to have like an orangey tone. Like this is kind of actually I feel more blue. Like it's morning, you know, it's morning, he just woke up, she's in the kitchen. Maybe we'll make it a little more focused on like it's dark. She's got, the oven on because she's making him breakfast, and he's sitting there going, "Oh my God, you're still here." So maybe this kind of blue. I don't know. Let's see. Um, we'll work our way around. We'll kind of work in a circle. Here we go. What's the thing going on recently? I have been making myself look for a job so much more recently, guys. Because, okay, so my college campus, we have like a website. It's kind of like LinkedIn, but it's for like jobs promoted by the campus. And so, like, I made one, and I kind of went through. I was like, okay, I don't really like this site, so. But I've had the app downloaded, and I got an email saying somebody messaged me, and it was over this like internship, and I don't know how to describe what this internship is, but it's like running your own painting business for college students, and I was like, okay. Alright, so I applied for that. And then I was scrolling through LinkedIn because I've been getting some notifications about jobs on there, and I was like, I've not really looked at LinkedIn for a while, so I guess I'll check that one back out. And yeah, they've got oh, what do you want to call it? It was like a gallery job. I never really considered working at the gallery before. I know like my school has like the gallery, and they had a job. They had a job posting for the gallery, but I didn't apply for it for whatever reason. I don't remember why. But I thought, okay, I'll go for this gallery, and yeah. I haven't heard back from them. I just applied yesterday, so it's probably gonna be a while. But it's pretty close to like campus and my house. It's 30 minutes away. It's not super far, and it's like weekends, so I'll have more time to like I can go home still. I would just have to be taken to work and stuff, and like I would not work long hours because it's only a part-time shift, which works for me. That's what I want. I don't know, like I've been spending so much time with Nate, and I feel like I'm spending so much money, and he's also spending so much money, and I just want to be able to like you know do stuff with him and not really worry at the moment. So I'm trying to look for something. Um, really gonna go back to promoting my commissions and stuff because I would love to get a little more commissioned work done. Uh, like DeviantArt even has like a hiring artist page, and I sit through that every day just to like try to like promote myself for anything. I am. Yeah, that's like the one thing I don't like about being an artist is like you have to do so much more self promoting, and I guess I'm just not really used to that. Okay. I'm not gonna worry about making multiple layers for this one because that's just kind of gonna it's gonna like cause Clip Studio to kind of lag more. And so by limiting how many layers we use, like especially for this one, I've gone through all the line art I had to like push into one. The I also limited like how much effort I put into like the graying part. Usually for that one, I try to go in for every like shadow and stuff and consider where the light's coming from. Well, for this one, I just kind of roughly threw on some gray, especially in the background, just because like putting too much emphasis there is more likely to crash it. The issue with doing this is that now like I don't really have that extra like reinforcement. It doesn't really show me, oh, when you rendered it, you had all of the shadows, like right here and here, so the light's coming down this way. So now I have to look at the rest of the image and go, okay, light is going to be coming from this way. Here we are. So for this piece, I kind of I'm focusing, it's the day after they just met, and John has just woken up. He's like, okay, that had to have been a dream. Like, there's no way this wish granter just, randomly stepped into my life. And he's coming into the kitchen because he smells something, and there she is. She's, making him eggs, and, the oven is like, they're burning, and there's eggs everywhere. And, she started to, like, make him coffee, but the coffee's spilling over. And he's just kind of looking at her going, there's no way you're still here. Here we are. Thought about making a Halloween post for them, but I could never figure out what kind of costumes the two of them would wear. Like, I was telling my friends that I'm like, I don't imagine John would wear a costume, because I mean, look at him, he's not really your typical like Halloween person. He's not really a big fan of this. But I also think if Summer said, hey, I want to dress up, he would dress up immediately. Well, it depends on which John we're talking about. Like, the John that, like, knew her, who's known her for a little while now, would probably dress up if she asked him to. When they first met, he probably would not have. And then he eventually would have. Just because, she kind of was like, hey, please. I'm not a super big detail person in my art, and I feel like this is like, kind of proves why. I think for my rendering style, it just kind of takes so much longer to add these things in. And I don't know. I've never been a super big detail person in my art, though. But this one, I mean, the calendar is even right for the year. And what I did with this calendar is that I kind of wanted it to be, it's scratched out. He's made it to the 14th. And, it's supposed to be the day. And he obviously doesn't do it. And so now it's just kind of scribbled out. And you don't really know what that means now. You don't know if he's planning again, if he, finally pushed it back, but here we go. There we go. Oh, but I got that shadow coming on over here. So much of art is just kind of being like, does this work? Does it not? No. It's very rare that you kind of get like a successful, like, oh yeah. Shit. Okay. Here we go. I'll come up here now. And we'll just darken this a bit. I need to come back because I'm like getting some stuff on other things, but like I'm just kind of roughing it out now. Like that. Here we go. Yeah, so like right now, I'm just kind of picking and choosing where things go. I don't know how I feel about this part. Let's see. I don't know, I really love just coming in with so many different variants of one shade and just layering it up. Ah, I always like hit that. I don't know why. I finally figured out how to lock in everything else so nothing moves, but I cannot figure out how to keep that one from like flipping open. It's because I lay my wrist on the side of it. But I don't think there's like something to keep that one from flipping out. Now I think about it, I can't wait for like school to end because next semester I'm taking like a digital rendering class, and I finally get to start working with like digital art. Um, I'm writing a speech in my speech class about AI art, and how that stuff isn't really art as culturally. A lot of kids are doing the AI bad narrative, and I kind of want to like not repeat what they say, and so instead of it being like AI is bad because it's bad for the environment, it's more of a culturally this doesn't fit, um, especially in like how art, like what art is supposed to be. It's just it doesn't work that way, and that's like one of the things I've talked about is like digital art. A lot of people think it's easy, and I do think it's easier than traditional art because you have to consider traditional art. It has a little more permanence to it, and you have to consider drying times. But digital art, you still have to know certain aspects. Like if you're working with brushes that replicate a certain medium, then you have to know how to use, or like those certain techniques in those mediums in order to like really get it to work. Because anybody who works with watercolor would tell you, you know, I don't even really know because I don't work with watercolor much anymore. But like, it's the same reason like I do a lot of stuff in my like renderings that like a lot of professional traditional painters would do because it helps, give it that effect that I'm looking for. And so, when somebody like generates an image, it's not going to have that same skill to it because at least with digital art, you have to know what you're doing. Most digital artists, I think you can give them a piece of paper and they can still perform. They can still draw, and it might not be at the same level to the way they can do it digitally, but they can still create something. But I don't know. I'm still writing it. They're doing a speech competition, and they told us about it like last minute, and I'm trying to figure out like is it worth it? $2,000. Put that towards my college bill. That'd be nice. But I don't know if I want to spend this weekend writing a speech because obviously I'm not doing it now. Here we go. Here we go. I always say this when I start streaming again, but I want to go back and really start streaming again. The reason I don't do it in the dorms is because the Wi-Fi in there is so bad that it can't keep a stream going for very long, which is very unfortunate, and I wish I could find a solution around it. I thought about just recording this and then uploading it as a longer video, but then I would have to come up with like a consistent thing to talk about. And that is very, anti what I do. I just kind of focus on what's on my mind and I say it. Let's go. You know what I'm realizing? I need to add a little more shading on this side because the shading kind of follows where Summer's at. The shading is on her right, and so the light needs to be coming more from the left. This piece, like, whenever I do, I try to use like all of my reference images to kind of be together, so I don't have like inconsistent lighting, and I did not do a very good job at this time, which is like the other reason I decided to not focus as much on doing a gray background, just because I knew automatically it was kind of gonna get messed up by creating like a and I threw a bunch of images together to like create the reference for this one. Add some yellowing on this side. Here we go. I finally bought Minecraft and I've been playing like for, oh my god, so many weeks now. So many nights. I just stay up till like 1 a.m. playing Minecraft. And my parents laugh at this, but like seriously, me and Nate have gone wild with it. I want to show off our world so badly, and I might record that one. And I was recording it to post on the channel, like just generally me playing. But I'm like, I don't know, I need to play with somebody. I kind of like, I don't know. The same reason I kind of like doing these, I have to talk to people. Because I just kind of get like lonely. It's too quiet when you like do it on your own. I kind of want to come up here and like throw out a little bit of shading. Here we go. I don't know what that was. Well, that's way this way. Is the music good? I actually decided to add music. I figured out how to do that. I was pretty proud of myself for figuring that one out. I can't actually hear on my side, kind of like the comments and stuff. I have to have like something else opened up just to be able to see it. Here we go. I said this before, but like I'm keeping everything. I was creating multiple layers, but now I'm just kind of going through and doing everything on like one, because I know like the more layers I add now, the more likely this is going to not save or it's going to crash. And I can only crop it down so much now. Um, but we're like, oh my god, we're 10 hours in. I've been working on this all week. And it's just like there's so much going on that like I've not wanted to work on it. But when I'm not working on this, I'm not doing anything else. But I think this is like another very important part of their lore. So I really want to add it. So like yeah. Okay. Here we go. It's a little too, yeah, I think that's a good color. It's a little too orangey for me. Here we are. And I need to make sure like I come back and do these knobs. I keep forgetting about those. Here we are. Kind of, I can come back over here and like pick up some colors that I've already used and throw these in. Here we are. If you have any other like things you would want to see me draw, feel free to like comment. I'm always looking for ideas of like things I can do. I talked about this before, but I don't think as many people were on. I was recording. Oh my god, you see, I did it again. I keep setting that off. I'll have to look and see if maybe there's like something I can do to turn that off. I don't know why like it opens up. I redid one of those grayscale challenges or like the colorblind challenge. I don't like the title of that. But I redid one and the results of it were so ugly that I didn't end up posting it. And like I don't know, I might redo that one. It was kind of autumn Halloween themed though, so I might have to create a new character for that. Okay. And then what else have I done recently? I uploaded a compilation of all of my sewing videos. So, you know, feel free to check that one out. I was super proud of myself for getting all of those together. Here we are. I'm gonna put that in there. I'm thinking of having like it kind of be blue because you know it's very early in the morning John's kind of like waking up and he's expecting like Summer has like left, that it was all a dream, and he's coming in here and he's finding like, no, here she is, she's making him eggs, but there's like smoke coming out of there because she's not really good at cooking. She's not really paying a lot of attention. She made him coffee, but it's pouring over. Okay. There's only so long I can do, like, before I have to finally come and do those dishes. Just like in real life, I don't want to do them. I don't want to draw them. I don't want to think about them. Here we go. See, I just about did it again. Oh, the universe is against me. Oh, see? I'm turning it off with my own hand. Isn't that funny? Come back in here. I will definitely say it's a little harder to like, I love rendering human and like skin, and so it's very difficult to like, I don't know, get used to doing stuff that's not what I'm interested in. Here we go. Okay, I think we can finally add another layer. And then we'll come over here and start working on this wall. Okay. Yeah. Alright, I think it's time. I'm gonna call it quits for the night, guys. We went on for a while, but we actually got quite a bit done. So yeah, I'll see you guys next